Good evening, America.
Howdy do.
It is your least favorite time of the week, but our favorite time of the week with Sports Desk.
Sports Desk.
In the penthouse.
In the penthouse.
We are gonna,
as always.
As always, no changes there. We're going to throw a curveball at you, no pun intended, by starting this week off talking about baseball. The MLB playoffs are in full swing, with currently the American League Championship Series and the National League Championship Series underway. Currently, we have Tampa Bay up 3-0 on the Houston Astros. That game 4 is actually being played right now. And last time I checked, Houston was up 1-0. If you guys want to comment and give an update on the score, that could obviously have changed since I checked. If Tampa Bay wins this game, they will clinch their second World Series berth since 2008. They haven't been there in 12 years. Houston has been there a few times the last few years, but no one wants them to win because they cheated a few years ago to win a World Series, so no one likes them.
We have a pet ladybug.
There's a ladybug in the room. My safety is threatened.
I feel so happy right now.
The only thing we can do is carry on. Atlanta Braves are up 2-0 on the Los Angeles Dodgers. LA, last I checked, in the 7th inning tonight. They're playing right now. Did you get them? Oh.
Our musician is currently trying to drown him.
With spray.
Is there bleach in there too?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, Atlanta's up 2-0. LA is actually winning this game, though, currently. Last I checked, it was 50. Oh, my God.
Lord almighty.
He's dead.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's so much to live for.
What are we going to do?
The ladybug is dead. 3 minutes into Sports Desk, we already have our first casualty.
We're murderers out here.
It's actually a personal best. So LA...
New high score.
LA is up 15-1, last I checked. They set a Major League Baseball postseason record by scoring 11 runs in the first inning today. That is a lot of runs.
That's crazy.
Lucas says R.I.P. Does he mean... I'm assuming he means the ladybug.
He's got to be talking about the ladybug.
You guys, I mean, you're lucky you didn't see that. We witnessed firsthand an event I can't even speak of.
A murder. I'll speak of it right now. It was a murder.
Oh, it was tragic. One interesting development in the baseball world is that fans are now allowed into the stadium for the National League Championship Series, and they're also allowing fans in the World Series. So we're starting to see a return to normalcy there.
Do you know if those seats are going to be limited or if it's full capacity like the stadiums for like Jacksonville? And
I do believe it is limited to start.
Okay.
Considering the season is almost done, I don't see them allowing full capacity, unfortunately.
That would make sense.
However, seeing something is better than nothing.
Yes. Our next topic for the night is actually going to be
Sports Desk.
NBA Finals, just because I want to kind of get all the depressing stuff out of the way first, like the baseball games. And that was a joke. Jake, I meant to ask you this question earlier, but we might have touched on this one last week. Your picks for the World Series.
Picks for the World Series. I would love to see a Braves-Rays World Series. I think the Rays are going to win it all because I don't like Houston, and the Dodgers always seem to make it far, so I'd love to see the Braves and Rays. How about you?
I got to be honest. I'm going Braves and Rays.
Okay, yeah. I think that's the one everyone wants to see.
Just because...
Alex,
I fully support you in your decisions, and I don't know anything about baseball.
Oh, my goodness, Alex, you tuned in. So this is my buddy Alex, Raptors in 4.
Raptors in 4.
Raptors in 4. Well, you tuned into the right part of the show here talking about NBA Finals. We're going to talk all about Toronto.
Oh, you're darn tootin' there, Jake. Lakers, Heat, NBA Finals. It was a pretty close matchup between the two. Lakers kind of got off on a hot start, 2-0, and then the Heat finally got a win. Didn't they win back-to-back?
No. I don't remember, actually. Yes. I'm not sure.
Anyways.
I don't know.
Whatever comeback they were mounting, it was all for naught. They were unable to come through with the win as an underdog victory, and LeBron, of course, ended up winning in the NBA Finals, which is kind of a bummer. I like the Lakers. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan out there.
I'm the smallest LeBron fan.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a bummer to not get my way. As it usually is. I'm only human. moving on from NBA.
That's LeBron's 4th title, by the way. So he's won 4 championships. So when you compare that to Jordan's 6, the GOAT debate is now heating up all that much more.
So hot. That debate, yes.
Oh yes, it's so hot.
All right, take it away, Jack.
Oh Lord.
The NFL had kind of a crazy week. We're gonna kind of kick it off with our game picks.
Asterisks.
Game picks.
So insightful.
Took it away with the game picks yet again this week, winning by a grand total of 1 game, 9-8 for this week's total. This was one of our lows for the both of us, actually.
I suck.
Yeah, you're not doing so hot this year. I don't know what it is.
You know, with the changing seasons, I'm just depressed.
Yeah, the dog's barking just distracts you. I 100% get it. And then this week, we also went with our game predictions for this next week. We're going to start it off with the Cleveland-Pittsburgh game. Both of us picked Cleveland to win, beat Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh has kind of been, I feel a little bit underrated right now. Jake, explain yourself. Cleveland over Pittsburgh.
Oh, Lord. Oh, I feel so threatened. No, Cleveland, I picked them because they're heating up. They're 4-1 for the first time since 1994, which is longer than I've been alive, plus 5 years. So that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and so they're 4-1. New head coach Kevin Stefanski really seems to have that team playing with a lot of fire right now. Jarvis Landry, OBJ, Baker, all the playmakers. I think the running back Nick Chubb is going to be out for a while.
Next couple of weeks, yeah.
He hurt his, ankle? Something like that?
Ankle or knee, I don't exactly remember. I have him on a fantasy team, but obviously I'm not paying too close attention to that.
Yeah, so I think the Browns are actually a team to watch in the AFC. Normally you wonder, like, are they just going to flop later on? But I think this year they're for real. I think that defense is stepping up. I think they're going to take care of Pittsburgh pretty easily. Skylar, how about you?
Yeah, defense definitely has taken a step up from last year. They're not dealing with as many injuries with their stud corners. And Myles Garrett is no longer suspended, right? He's playing, right?
Yeah, he's not hitting people with his helmet.
Yeah, he's not. That's crazy. I can't even believe that that's something that happened in an NFL game. It's crazy to me. I
would have passed out.
I really can't believe it. Chicago, Carolina, coming up here is a game that I kind of like to talk about. As we know, Chicago just took on Tampa Bay and ended up winning in a tight one against Carolina, who's down Christian McCaffrey, but is also kind of having their way with anybody that they've come across. Teddy Bridgewater's playing pretty well. Mm-hmm. Jake and I both picked Carolina over Chicago.
I forgot to send Phil the link.
I sent Phil the link.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
I didn't send Adam the link. Oh, Lord.
How are we supposed to talk about it?
How are we going to talk about golf now?
Oh, okay.
I don't have my phone on me.
Oh, I don't either.
Oh, shucks.
Shoot.
We suck at our jobs.
Gosh, this is why they don't give me a raise.
All right, back to Chicago and Carolina. Jake, explain yourself.
Once again. So, I think Chicago's not for real. I think they got off to a hot start. I think it was a fluke. So, I think Carolina's going to take care of business. Robbie Anderson's been great at receiver for the Panthers, averaging about 100 yards a game receiving. Mike Davis has filled in pretty well for the Panthers at the running back position. As you mentioned, Teddy B has been playing pretty well. It's nice to see him thriving in his new starting role with Carolina. I think, plus this being a home game for Carolina, I'm not sure if they're letting fans in the stadium yet or not. But if they are, there's that home field advantage that plays a part as well. I don't see Chicago winning this game, but bear in mind, I suck at picking games, so take my word with a grain of salt. I am a professional amateur.
That's the truth in the fullest right there. I got to say, this game is going to come down to whether or not Nick Foles can show up to play. As we know, he jumped in week 3?
3 or 4, I don't remember.
Week 3, subbing in for Trubisky, who is not playing so hot, and ended up firing 3 touchdowns right off the bat. And then he started the next 2 games and just has not put up very incredible numbers at all. It's nothing impressive, nothing you would want from your starter. And if he shows up to play, if Foles is on his A game, Chicago will probably run away with the game. However, I am a little bit skeptical on their dependability and consistency. So I did pick Carolina to win. Yeah.
And I'd like to just briefly talk about the New York Jets at Miami game, only because I think there's some big implications with this game. The Jets haven't won a game yet this year, and Miami just whooped San Francisco's butt this past week, 43-17. A poor showing by Jimmy G at quarterback coming back from that ankle injury. So you wonder if the Jets win, does that save Adam Gase's job as head coach for yet another week? But if Miami wins, I think that would put the Jets at 0-6. You wonder if Adam Gase would be out the door then, so I think that's a huge game for them. But Miami, normally a walkover team, they're pretty decent this year, so that's not going to be a gimme for the Jets. However, nothing is, they're 0-5. So it'll be interesting to see how that game plays out. Not really one that's going to be on the prime time or maybe talked about, but definitely has serious implications for the future of the Jets franchise.
Exactly, and we've already seen a couple of coaches bite the bullet and get cut.
Just a smooth transition.
Bill O'Brien's the first one that comes to mind. The next one, most recently actually, Dan Quinn.
On Monday, he got the axe.
Yep, and we saw that one coming, not going to lie.
Yeah, he had a 43-42 record as coach for the Falcons, so not really that great. And they're either 0-4 or 0-5. I think they're 0-5 this year. So, yeah.
Something like that, after blowing massive leads in two of their games for sure.
And they also fired their general manager, Thomas Dimitroff, as well, so no one is safe in Atlanta.
Yeah. With the Atlanta talk right now, Vikings have an upcoming game against them. They held their own against Seattle. They came away in the first half absolutely running away with the game. Then in the second half, they really pooped their pants, and Russell Wilson was able to capitalize from that and eventually lead their team to a win.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was just going to talk about how sad I was about it.
It's true.
And I'm sensing that this upcoming Falcons game is going to be kind of a trap game. They lost Dan Quinn as a coach. They have an interim head coach coming in. And we saw the interim head coach for Houston taking a dub this week.
Yeah.
Which was Houston's first win. So if that's going to be a trend, hopefully it's not going to be.
Yeah.
But if it is, then the Vikings will lose.
Lucas, we'll get to your comment in just a minute here. I just want to talk to you briefly, Skylar, about that Vikings-Seahawks game. Not just because we're Vikings fans, but just from a football standpoint.
And we're Vikings fans.
Late in that game, the Vikings up 26-21, had the ball 4th and inches at Seattle's, 7-yard line, 6-yard line? Really close.
Something like that.
And they do a handoff to Alex Madison, who fails to get the 6 inches that they need. If you looked at the replay, he had a huge hole probably to the end zone if he had just cut to the right. Do you think it was a good decision to go for it, or do you think the Vikings should have kicked that field goal instead?
All right. So, while this game was going on, I was sitting right next to Jake, and the words that left my mouth was, I think we should take this field goal. Take the points, have them kind of march down the field. I mean, I figured they would march down the field. They got Russell Wilson. Figured they would march down the field, make them prove themselves when it gets to the actual 2-point conversion. I feel like the mistakes of our rookies definitely ended up showing up in that game. Having Cam Dantzler cover DK Metcalf, which is definitely a mismatch in favor of DK.
Oh yeah.
He is just making far too many mistakes, getting kind of losing track of his receiver that he was guarding, and it came back to bite the Vikings not once but a couple of times, which is a bummer to see. I mean, obviously it's going to be a learning lesson for him as well as the Vikings.
And as for fans, is it worth to keep cheering for him?
Yeah, it's tough. But
the frustrating thing is,
I would have gone for the field goal. What are your thoughts on that one?
See, I like the call because you're prime time on the road. You're an underdog. No one expects you to win. You're 1-3. You think about what do you have to lose, and you've been running the ball so well all game, you'd think I can get the 6, 8 inches, whatever. If you don't get it, it's questionable. If you get it, you're a genius, and obviously they didn't get it. And what's frustrating from a fan perspective is how, Like, the Vikings couldn't get 6 inches, but Seattle could get 38 yards on 4th and 10, or a touchdown on 4th and goal from the 6.
Yeah, they had him at 4th and whatever for twice in that final series.
Right, and as Skyler mentioned, Cameron Dantzler guarding DK Metcalf, it showed on that 4th and 10. He was just turned around completely. But I like the decision because, really make a statement saying, no, we're going to put this game away now. Because if you convert that first down, you can almost run down the clock, keep pounding the rock, maybe score a touchdown, make it a 2-possession game. But, of course, not making it, of course, then that's why we're having the debate of why did you go for it? Was that the right call? Zimmer post-game defended his decision, saying, I'm always going to go for the win in that decision. I personally like the call on ESPN, like a secondhand network like that. We've been hearing different opinions if it was the right call or not. It's tough to say. Yeah,
and I feel like the way that you decide whether it was a good call or not is going to come back to kind of like how you are as a person. I've often been called a pessimist by my counterpart, Jacob.
It's true.
I'd like to call it realistic.
Nope.
And realistically, if we would have kicked that field goal, we probably could have won the game. I mean, obviously, if we would have got the first down, we would have won the game. But
see, I just feel like if we kick a field goal there, we go up by 8, we let them score anyways. They get the 2-point conversion, and then we just lose in overtime. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I like how you just go down and just put the game away right away.
Yeah.
Now you're the pessimist, Jake.
See, I understand the intent behind it, but also maybe I'm a little bit biased as a special teams guy. As a kicker, I'd feel almost kind of offended that they didn't want to just take the points. And, I mean, I've been there.
But, yeah, it's definitely a debatable situation for sure. We're going to move on to Lucas's question. Sorry for making you wait, Luke. About Le'Veon Bell. He asks, where do you think he's going? He was just released by the Jets earlier this week. Actually, yesterday, I think. So there's rumors circulating already of which team he'll go to. Some say the Steelers, where he started. I've heard the Cardinals. I've heard Giants. I don't know if you've heard anything about that.
I have not seen any potential landing spots for the man. So I guess your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. I'm going to be bold and say he goes back to Pittsburgh. That's just a prediction.
Yeah, I don't know. I take into consideration the teams that seem to be lacking at running back. And I feel like one of the first teams that come to mind is the Falcons. Right? Who do they have at running back?
They got Todd Gurley.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I have him on a fantasy team.
He's on your
so
fantasy.
Like I said, I haven't been paying too close attention. He's been putting up points. But I mean, Giants just picked up Devontae Freeman, and he's actually putting up numbers for them as well. Washington Redskins have been banking off of a rookie.
Football team.
Ah, right.
You racist.
Is it really racist for me to say Redskins, though? I mean, granted, Redskins is supposed to be derogatory, but
oh, yeah, you're right.
I am native.
Oh, yeah. No, carry on as you were.
But they have Antonio Gibson, who they're trying to run through. Detroit has AP.
All day.
And who else? Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah.
So I think what it's going to boil down to is which team is kind of lacking in their running back game. Miami has who now?
I don't know.
They used to have Kenny Drake. Kenny Drake is no longer with them.
He's with the Cardinals now.
Yep. So I can imagine that they might be looking for some help there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Le'Veon's on the IR, or was on the IR. Was he not?
I don't know. Yeah, he was. So it's hard to say. There's lots of options out there. You got 31 other options. I can tell you the Vikings probably won't be getting him.
Yeah, they don't need him.
Which is fine. We are going to move on to some other football news. If you guys watched the Dallas Giants game this week, you probably heard Tony Romo say that he hoped Dak Prescott suffered merely a cramp when his foot is dangling by literally a thread. Not that bad, but it was definitely out of place. And he says, "I hope it's just a cramp."
Yeah, Dak totally just broke his leg right in front of everybody.
Yeah,
it's really unfortunate. I mean, that's one of those things that you really hate to see. And I mean, coming from my sports and exercise major and background and everything, that's one of the things that also really fascinates me.
And from my psychology background, I can only imagine he's not happy about it. So.
I'd say. But yeah, I mean, It's crazy. It's one of those things that you also kind of think that it won't happen to like one of your favorite players. But I mean, obviously, Vikings have had their fair share of injuries with Dalvin Cook, and how he's been inconsistent in playing and staying on the field. However, obviously, it's different when it comes to like the guy who has the helm. In your starting quarterback, and they have a veteran quarterback kind of taking his place.
Andy Dalton. Serviceable backup.
He's experienced. He knows what he's doing. And Jake, actually, you picked Dallas losing against Arizona.
I did.
Tell me about that.
I think Kyler Murray's been so great for Arizona, and although Andy Dalton's pretty decent for Dallas, their defense sucks as it is, and I think the difference between Dak and Andy Dalton is enough where it can cost them a game against a decent team like Arizona. So, even though Dallas is at home, I mean, Arizona and Texas are basically cousins anyways. They're super close, so I don't think home field advantage plays a part.
Okay.
They're geographically close together.
Not really.
They're in the South. There's one state in between them.
Texas is huge.
It's all desert.
I picked Dallas to win. I feel like their experience is kind of going to lead the way for them. What are you chuckling for?
Nothing.
But yeah, no, I picked Dallas. I think that Arizona's not going to be able to pull through with the win. I think it's going to be a relatively close game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Dallas will probably come away with it.
Other news in the National Football League is Cam Newton returns from the COVID list, giving a big boost to the Patriots. You kind of saw last week when they were playing Kansas City, Jared Stidham came in place of Brian Hoyer because Brian Hoyer was filling in for Cam and he wasn't doing so well, and then Jared Stidham came in for Hoyer and he didn't do so well. So they need Cameron Newton back. I don't know why I called him Cameron. Cameron something Newton. Yeah. Very official. He needs to come back.
I bet his middle name is James.
Cameron James Newton. Oh, because James Newton with gravity.
That's Sir Isaac Newton.
Balls. Okay. We have another comment. Nope. That was the comment. We're going to move down quick to college football here. Alabama head coach Nick Saban tested positive for coronavirus 19. So he will probably be going about living his life normally until he gets better. But Alabama will be without him for this upcoming game against number 3 Georgia. So offensive coordinator Steve Sarkisian is filling in for him. I don't know if it's going to affect Bama too much. I wonder if he can even coach remotely from his house or something. Alex says Gophers in 4. Yes, Sky Yuma, row the boat. That's what I'm talking about. He's a Gophers fan. Shout out to Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
All right. Yeah. And then soccer.
Oh, yes.
The real football.
The real football. Speaking of COVID, Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the top players in the world, also tested positive for coronavirus. Or COVID-19, if you want to be super medical about it. What that entails for them, or his club, I don't actually know. Didn't do any research. I just saw the headline that he tested positive. So I mean,
and now he has to quarantine in his private island. What a struggle.
Oh yeah, bummer. I will say his play has kind of downgraded in these last couple of years, and he's slowly going down the hill. So you can tell he's getting up there in age. I think the same thing is happening with Messi. But I mean, obviously that's going to happen. It'll eventually happen to LeBron too. I mean, he's been dominant for however long it's been.
Yeah.
I mean, all reigns come to an end.
Well, that was philosophical because rings are circular, so you wonder if there is no end. But that.
I said rain.
Moving on to WLC Sports. Skylar, do you want to take it away?
Oh, sure. On October 10th, both the male and female cross-country teams traveled to CU-Dub, which is our crosstown rivals. The girls ended up placing third out of 3 teams, and the guys took first, which is great. Took first out of 3 teams.
So they got last?
Yes, third is the night. Bongo! No! And then coming up on the 12th, sorry, losing track of my days here. Men's golf placed second out of third. Out of three.
Second out of third.
Shooting a score of
they can't even win
396. They can't win third place. They can't win second. And then upcoming, one of the bigger news, women's volleyball is starting back up here after being shut down for a wee bit. And then football is going to be having their scrimmages on October 24th and November 7th. So obviously I am very excited for that. We just started our... Wait, what?
That's what they were going paintballing.
I'm going to miss a party.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Harrison, if you're watching this, I may or may not be there. I'll talk to Coach. I'll see what he says. Maybe he'll understand, maybe not.
It's paintballing.
It's paintballing. I mean, I'd rather get hit by paintballs than intercept some footballs.
Yeah, because that's what you do as an all-conference defensive back.
I'm not all-conference DB.
Oh.
So
yeah, WLC Sports in a very busy time of the year. Our fall break is coming up here in just 2 days. That kind of signifies our halfway mark in our semester. It's moving by pretty fast, which means we're halfway done with Sports Desk for the semester.
Yeah, that's quite the bummer.
Which is crazy.
I know you're going to miss it, buddy.
So, it'll be nice to next semester. Hopefully we got football, we got basketball, volleyball. It's going to be interesting seeing all these teams competing for practice time because we're in Wisconsin. Let's face it, we get 3 good days out of the year. So when you come back to school February 1st, it's going to be winter. It could be winter all the way up until April, and that's 2 months into the semester. So it's going to be interesting. Jonathan Wardell says, "Sup, boys? Bongo will not miss it." Oh, he won't miss the show when we leave? Oh, contraire, my friend. What's not to miss? So it'll be interesting to see how the teams play out next semester with everyone competing for weight room time, gym time, because presumably you're going to be inside for the bulk of practices to start off the semester.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have so much more local sports news for you guys second semester, hopefully. Let's pray that this whole pandemic thing is over soon so that this guy can get back to punting balls.
Exactly. And that we can stop wearing masks everywhere. And
exactly. Because we know that your favorite part of Sports Desk
is our smiles.
Brief showing for the camera. Okay.
Put it away.
I'm sorry.
Want to see that garbage.
I know. I didn't mean to infect you. Wait, garbage? Jonathan says, but I will. He will miss Sports Desk. Jonathan, we're going to miss having you watch Sports Desk. We're going to miss doing Sports Desk.
We're just going to miss the desk, really.
Again, so last week, you guys who watched, we had Curtis Schwartz as our first guest star, and we don't want him to be the last. If you guys are interested in being on our show, please reach out to us.
Let us know.
You know how to get a hold of us, email, MySpace, HerSpace, Twitter, Facebook, messaging, Snapchat, Instagram, calling, snail mail, Pony Express. We're here to listen. So we'd love to have you on the show and just talk about life, talk about sports and everything.
Oh, the camera's dead.
Maybe my smile broke it.
I freaking knew it.
I feel like that could be a possibility.
Coming up next week, our next special guest, second guest of the year, is going to be Ethan Ortiz. He is...
really? Oh, yes.
Yep, I talked to the man today. The man himself.
Oh, that's going to be good.
He's looking forward to it. He's a fellow defensive back on the WLC football team. Passionate lover of the Green Bay Packers.
I'm glad you ended that with the Green Bay Packers. We could have some serious debates, Vikings Packers, with Ethan.
It should be an entertaining one. He's a funny guy.
Things could get pretty heated. Jonathan says that he can make a guest appearance, but only through carrier pigeon. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Well played.
I would use messenger hawks. Those are pretty.
Yeah. But that's going to be great having Ethan on the show next week.
Exactly.
It'll be a little nice addition to the show, no doubt. We'd love to have him, be able to be here live in person, but, so much room on the desk, we're limited.
That's the truth.
Jonathan says Seahawks should have ran it and Vikings should have kicked it. I'm not sure where you mean the Seahawks should have ran it.
You can't argue with that.
Empty face.
But yeah, so he thinks the Vikings should have kicked the field goal.
I agree with the man. I think they should have kicked it as well.
But see, I feel like also knowing the Vikings, if they had kicked it, they would have botched the snap or it would have gotten blocked and Seattle returns it for a touchdown. I know it would have been like a 19-yard field goal. I don't know. I kind of like the decision to go for it. You have nothing to lose except the game, so.
Some fans along the way.
I like
Fake fans.
So loyalty.
Yeah.
Old Seahawks reference. Oh, Super Bowl against the Patriots with Marshawn Lynch. Yes, that was a very questionable play call.
Good old Pete.
Yeah,
getting it done. I mean, they're undefeated right now, so it must be doing something right.
Seahawks 5-0. That's crazy because their defense actually is struggling a lot this year. I mean, their run defense is, I think, near the bottom of the league.
Yeah, which is kind of amazing that they are 5-0. But that just also goes to show Russell Wilson really knows how to run that offense.
Yeah, just carry that team.
Exactly.
Yeah. Skylar and I are in the middle of participating in a research study where we do exhilarating HIIT workouts 2 times a week.
Oh, yes.
I did mine today. I made the mistake of lifting earlier in the day. I came back to my room. I collapsed on the floor and questioned all my life decisions.
I was perfectly fine. I did mine before football practice. Football practice I was all right at. But,
My glutes are so sore. I can't even... I mean, it hurts just to sit. It's not good. But hopefully Friday I won't lift before I do a HIIT workout.
Yeah, that one was on you, buddy.
Yeah, because it's we're in the heart of Squattober, so I'm squatting a lot. So I'm trying to just get that nice behind. Who's your fave boxer? Alex with the question.
Not much of a boxer, but
Mike Tyson.
I will swing it over to like mixed martial arts and UFC and whatnot. My all-time favorite fighter is Uriah Faber. If you don't know who that is, he's a nicknamed the California Kid. The man is a little bit older, so he's from a while back when I actually used to watch UFC. And that man is a absolute beast.
I had to say my favorite would probably be my Mii character on the Wii for Wii Sports. However, second favorite would probably be Conor McGregor. I enjoy his personality, just like the way he conducts himself is entertaining. It's very arrogant, but it's very like, oh, McGregor, and I'll bait you up, but very entertaining nonetheless.
He does have a fight coming up here pretty soon. I actually just found that out today.
And I think he wants to have it at AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play.
Mm.
Yeah. Jonathan says, I'm so weak that I'm gluten-free.
That's a good one.
That is good.
I like it.
That is good. That's good. Where do you come up with that stuff? Man.
The internet's a wonderful place.
Yeah, boxing, I don't follow boxing too much, Alex, but if I had to, I guess I'd say McGregor. And that's really mostly because I don't know a ton of other ones. I've never even heard of the guy that you had mentioned.
Oh, yeah, Uriah Faber.
Uriah Faber, so.
So who would win in a fight? A bear or a gorilla?
Well, see, that's a good question because you got to wonder what species of bear. Is it a grizzly?
We're going grizzly.
Okay, so if it's a full-grown grizzly versus
bear.
a gorilla, koala bear. If we're talking about a full-grown grizzly against a gorilla, gosh, gorillas are strong, man. Gorillas are strong. But after coming face to face with a bear and seeing my life flash before my eyes, I have respect for bears that I just don't have for gorillas because I've never encountered one.
Yeah, I was there too. I saw his life flash before his eyes too.
Yeah, and let me tell you, not a fun sight.
We had cold SpaghettiOs in a car.
Yeah, because a bear was threatening our life. So, from subjective experience, yeah. Oh, seeing stars. I'd say bear, but gorillas can hold their own too.
Yeah, I think a gorilla would probably win just because I think they're a little bit more mobile than bears are. They also have some thumbs.
A key component.
And they also kind of know how to use like different objects as weapons and whatnot. What do we got going on here?
Philip asked the real question: who wins, Skyler versus Bicep?
All right, I think with all of my Native American heritage.
Well, is the Bicep owned by Mr. Jacob William Wasserman? That's not my middle name, nor is that how you spell my last name, but close. It is owned by him. Yes, I own it. I actually own 2 of them, but the second one is pending.
It's on its way.
So, in my, just from an objective standpoint, I would kick his ass.
It's a good thing Adam's not watching. I gotta say, with all of my years of fighting experience, and the fact that I totally took Taekwondo as a class on campus, no questions asked.
I'm just overall better than you.
I'm gonna win. One of these days, we're gonna have a sports desk to the death fight.
Sports death.
It's sports death.
And that's not Mike Tyson talking. Oh, yeah.
God,
yeah.
Can't wait.
No, I feel like I would win. I'm just faster, so I can just run away. Which counts. But, yeah. I'd like to apologize for my language on national television.
He's not that sorry. If you think that's bad, you should hear the way he talks to me on the daily.
What are you talking about? That's a lie.
Don't listen to him.
I treat you with nothing but love and respect. You're a colleague. Yeah, it's tough to say. Who do you think would win, elk or a moose?
I think a moose would win.
Yeah.
Just by, sheer size and power.
Yeah, their shoulders are just so thick.
And, I mean, being, up close and personal, I mean, it was probably about 100 feet away.
Yeah.
I'd say the moose would definitely win. And that was just a female moose, and those animals are just massive.
Philip says articulate language. You could almost say articulate language. Jonathan asks, who would win, Moose or Jake? Probably Moose because Jake wouldn't see it. Oh my gosh. I think we touched up on this a little bit in an earlier episode, but in the summer when we went on a road trip, this idiot drove past a moose, didn't stop so I could see it, crammed in the back. So I didn't see a bull moose, with a huge rack, and I was a little disappointed. So that's the backstory to that.
I have no regrets. And if you haven't, already, we do have our first episode of the vlog that we took from that trip. That one's also out on my YouTube channel.
Click that button up there.
It's just my first name, last name. The video title is The Road to Rapid. Episode 2 is coming out, and that is actually the episode where Jake, unfortunately, does not get to see the moose.
Right. It's maybe we'll put the link to that in the description of our next video or next something, so people can have a direct way to see it. And also if you just type in The Road to Rapid, it's the first video that comes up on YouTube. So check it out. It's worth your while. It is actually, yeah. I've tried.
I mean, it might be on your search history. I
think if you just search The Road to Rapid, we're the first one that comes up. Jack's going to confirm that very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is. Oh, wow, we're so cool.
Philip asks, how big was this rack? I don't know. I didn't see it.
Let me tell you, it was massive. Think of a big rack, times that by 4. That was this rack.
So a 4 times big rack.
Yeah. It was pretty incredible. I mean, obviously we were just driving past. I think Jonathan got a better look at it than I did because I was the driver. But obviously, still a cool experience.
Yeah. That's about all we have for you this week on Sports Desk. We're running close to 40 minutes here. I don't know if we have anything else major to talk about in the sports world. Jonathan says can confirm, big rack. Philip, it was huge.
Huge.
How did you know, Phil? Making me feel worse for not seeing it.
I think it was because of how descriptive I was.
True. You're 4 times big rack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the vividness.
Yeah.
Alone.
You just can't escape.
But, yeah.
Sheer.
I didn't want to stare for too long because that would be rude. Courtesy, that's very nice of you to not do that.
We know that we hang out with good people.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
Just because of the generosity and the chivalrousness.
Well, we're digressing here. Thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of Sports Desk.
Sports Desk.
We'll be back next week.
What was the caption that I was going to use tonight?
It was something about there's niceness in every aisle.
Sports Desk. The fresh taste of West Mex. We'll see you guys later.
See you later. Have a great week.